Hey, it is your favorite half-Persian comedian, and what I'm about to show you is unreal, but I've been trying to warn you for a long time that this is what the radical left does. Obviously, they pretend like they're all about tolerance, all about Black Lives Matter, all about all these fake initiatives they push on you just to cause problems in your community. But when an African American runs for governor, watch these weirdos come out of the woodwork. Watch the costumes they wear. Watch the actions they do and the violence they bring. This is the left. Show Larry Elder trying to reach out to the community in Venice Beach and how they treat him.
But see, the white supremacists, they hate taking a direct hit. This is why they need buffer classes. This is why they need the Larry Elders of the world. You understand? This is why they need, and did y'all see Larry Elder? Larry Elder came out, he's running for governor out here, and he went out to the streets of Venice. He went out there and they were throwing shit at him, cursing him out. He was out there for like 12 minutes and had to hop his coon ass right back in the van and drive off. Larry Elder is not safe in those streets in no damn LA. They were cussing his ass out. They were about to whoop his ass. They were about to get that ass. He went back into his coon nest.
Don't touch me again! Don't touch her, motherfucker! I'll pop him in the motherfucker name! I'll fuck you up, motherfucker! You grab our ass, motherfucker! You understand me, boy? I'm gonna rip your head. Hey! Fuck with me, boy. You get that sorry piece of shit out of here! Hey, Michael, stop!
Venice Beach is known for mental illness. It's known for progressiveness. They're so open-minded that their brains fell out long ago. These people are weird. And this is just more proof leftism is indeed a mental illness. Show some more.
Obviously, the people of Venice Beach have been tortured by the rise of homelessness and the welcoming committee that Gavin Newsom has given homelessness around this nation.
Everyone who's homeless, come to California, he says. This is what Larry Elder tweeted this out. He said, today I got kicked off the Recall Express bus tour. Before we even left Los Angeles, my security detail was physically assaulted, shot with a pellet gun, and hit with projectiles. The intolerant left will not stop us. We will recall Gavin Newsom. We will save California.
Now, I got a question. What would happen if Kamala Harris, Maxine Waters, or Obama were running for office and someone harassed them with a monkey gorilla costume and threw eggs at them? How quickly before that Republican would be in jail for life or possibly receive the death penalty? So why is it okay that because Larry Elder is not a radical leftist, he is no longer considered a black man and doesn't have to get any of the protection that the others do get on the left?
And one thing I noticed out here, when we were driving back and we stopped to get something to eat over there in Orange County, and there are all types of "we support Larry Elder" signs and Larry Elder signs all over the place in Orange County. And that made me nervous being around those white folks. Any white people who support Larry Elder is a goddamn white supremacist or a white supremacist suspect. That lets me know what kind of white supremacist you are. Any white person who supports Larry Elder, the only reason they support Larry Elder is because of his anti-black rhetoric. That's all Larry Elder is really known for. Larry Elder is known for spewing anti-black rhetoric. And white people use him to hide their own racism. They support him, so he props up all the white supremacist talking points so they can hide behind him. That's the only reason a Larry Elder is even a thing out here.
So Larry, you know what? I have to say this. I thought this was very interesting. You said not even an OJ jury would convict Officer Wilson. I mean, should he at least be charged?
Well, I think he will be charged. I think Van is right. I think the politics will compel a charge, but I think the law and the facts will compel an acquittal. You have witnesses that appear to be unreliable. You already have witnesses that are altering their testimony. The key witness is this guy, Dorian Johnson, who was with him. He's already now conceded that he didn't tell the investigators about the robbery at the convenience store 10 minutes earlier. Oh, I just forgot that. He said that the shots were all in the back. Their own expert that they hired, Dr. Bodden, said that the shots were consistent with somebody coming forward. He didn't say that's what happened. but he said that's consistent with somebody coming forward. When that guy says that on the defense, on the jury stand, and I'm doing that cross-examination, the case is now gone supernova. It's over. When you have your own witness saying that the forensic evidence is consistent with the guy charging him, it's done. But I think the pressure will be
You
the
think
file.
you think it's over?
When you have
You
a
think
jury
the
in the room, they're going
officer?
to find not guilty.
Okay, not guilty. You answer my question. Van, do you agree with that?
Well, I think it's way too early to tell. We definitely have a whole lot of contradictory evidence, but here's what I think is most compelling for most people in the country right now. This was an unarmed person, and I think that the behavior of the police.
So what?
But here's what I think is most compelling for most people in the country right now. This was an unarmed person, and I think that the behavior of the police
So what?
afterwards is so damning. The behavior of the police afterwards, you don't interview witnesses for a week. Ordinarily, if somebody gets shot in the neighborhood, everybody gets interviewed. This person was shot. You have people on television for days and days saying, look, I was there, I saw it. The police seem less interested in interviewing eyewitnesses and finding out what's going on than apparently finding videotapes about this kid blocks away hours earlier. So that's, I think, the kind of behavior on the part of the police that has alarmed the country, and I think it will compel a charge. But we do not know at this point what will come out through that process.
Larry, you're talking about the behavior of Michael Brown. You're talking about the behavior of Dorian Johnson. But whose behavior should be under more scrutiny? Should it be Michael Brown's, or should it be the Officer Wilson's? Who should be more under scrutiny?
Well, Officer Wilson, of course, is the one who did the shooting, so clearly we have to have an investigation to find out whether or not the shooting was legitimate. But Van keeps talking about it being unarmed. When you shoot somebody, you don't find out until they're armed until after you shoot them. The point is he was a threat. And this business about he shot 6 times, I don't know what's going on with these reporters who are gun ninnies, but you can fire around 6 rounds in about 2 seconds. And this business about they should wound him, that's on television. You shoot to stop the threat, and you don't stop shooting until the threat is stopped. And if this guy is 6'4", and if he turned around and came at Officer Wilson, having had a confrontation in the vehicle before, damn right you shoot to stop the threat.
Hold on 1 second.
Of course. And if he turned around and came at Officer Wilson, having had a confrontation in the vehicle before, damn right you shoot to stop the threat.
Hold on 1 second.
Of course you do.
Adrian is in Columbus, Ohio. Adrian, thank you very much for calling the show. I appreciate it.
Oh man, anytime, man. I always talking to you, but oh man, so much with that last guy. I guess the main thing I want to say is, as a black person, I don't feel like I'm a victim of anything. I'm doing okay, me myself personally. Now, Tamir Rice, that guy was a victim. John Crawford, victim. Sandra Bland, victim. Me, Adrian Pickles, good. Okay.
Well, I don't agree with anything you just now said, especially about Tamir Rice. But go ahead. Tamir Rice was the
you don't think he was a victim?
No, I don't. He was a victim of having been shot. He was a victim of his own irresponsible behavior. He shouldn't have been waving around a replica. Let me finish, please.
How old was
Adrian? May I finish? You asked me if I thought he was a victim. I want to respond to you, and then we can go from there. Okay?
I just want to tell you, you're a sick person for that. You're sitting here saying this kid who got.
Adrian, I thought we were going to have an intelligent, fact-based conversation, but I see that you're not capable of having one. You asked me my opinion about whether or not Tamir Rice was a victim. That's the boy that was twirling the replica gun in Cleveland. And the investigation was that the officers acted properly, given what they thought at the time, and the officers did not face any charges. I'm sorry. They had 3 use of force experts. All 3 said the officers acted responsibly. It's not the officer's fault that this young boy had taken the little pellet that's supposed to be on the end of his gun, as is required by law, so that people will be able to distinguish a real gun from a toy gun. It had been removed. The cop had to answer in a split second, and unfortunately the young man died. And you asked me my opinion, so I've given you my opinion, Adrian. That's all you got?
We have dramatic body camera video from Florida where a 14-year-old girl and a 12-year-old boy opened fire on sheriff's deputies after running away from a children's home. We want to warn you, it is disturbing.
Female has a shotgun in her hand. Stand by. Put the gun down now!
Hey guys, just hold behind hard cover. Let's not shoot these kids, man. Let's just hold on. Take our time. Hey guys, just hold behind hard cover. Let's not shoot these kids, man. Let's just hold on. Take our time.
10-4, they're shooting at me.
Deputies say the two broke into a house where they found an arsenal of weapons, including a shotgun and an AK-47. The kids apparently fired at them for 45 minutes as they tried to de-escalate things. Deputies eventually returned fire, wounding the girl. The boy surrendered.
Well, typical. I don't know what to tell you.
George Zimmerman shot dead an unarmed teenager.
He's a neighborhood watch guy. Don't you want people who are proactive? And there was crime in that neighborhood, Pierce. I live in South Central.
There wasn't crime from Trayvon Martin in that neighborhood.
The burglar bars are not on there because of George Zimmerman. They're on there because of the minority of thug in the community that's messing up everybody's image and reputation. This is why people profile. Instead of being angry at George Zimmerman, be angry at the minority of the thug who's committing these kinds of crimes.
Okay, if I could jump in again. So just to clarify, though, Trayvon Martin wasn't committing crime.
It was an unfortunate incident. Two people had preconceived notions about each other. It never should have been happened. Doesn't make George Zimmerman a criminal. I used to work in the DA's office, Pierce. I'm telling you, it was a dog case, a reasonable doubt case. Nobody I know would have filed the case.
Yeah, well, we disagree, obviously, about that. I think it's completely wrong.
Obviously.
That George Zimmerman should get no punishment at all for killing an unarmed teenager.
He's got serious punishment. He can't go anywhere. Are you kidding? He's a marked man.
What?
He's going to be sued civilly. He will never have a moment of peace. He killed somebody. Morally, he's got to deal with that, Pierce. He recognizes that. Larry,
if I may
he
respond.
recognizes what he did.
Can I go now to Deborah Roberts, reporter anchor, Florida News Network. Deborah, why is George Zimmerman signing autographs to a line of people like he's a Hollywood movie star at a gun show?
It's hard to say, Nancy, because he gave the money to a charity for animals. So it's not like he made any money off of the appearance. And like you heard earlier.
Don't be such a fucking chump. Stop deluding yourself. I told you to take care of your wife. What did I say? The world would understand. Didn't I say that?
African Americans built this nation. You built this nation. You know, you're just starting to get real credit for that. Okay, I don't know if you know that. You're just starting to get, you built the nation. We all built it, but you were such a massive part of it. Bigger than you were given credit for. Does that make sense? Right?
What did you do?
You know what scares me, John? I leave the case, she gets better, and then I hate her for it.
Remember?
Black conservative Larry Elder is now making a case for slave owners to have reparations while still dismissing descendants of the enslaved having reparations. Here it is.
Right behind them.
By the way, when you mentioned that the UK was ahead of us, they were. Do you know that the slave owners were compensated? After they lost their quote-unquote property, the government compensated slave owners.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so when people talk about reparations, do they really want to have that conversation? Because, like it or not, slavery was legal. And so their property, their legal property, was taken away from them after the Civil War. So you could make an argument that the people that are owed reparations, and not only just black people, but also the people whose quote property, close quote, was taken away after the end of the Civil War.
Woe to him who builds his palace by unrighteousness, his upper rooms by injustice, making his own people work for nothing, not paying them for their labor. He says, I will build myself a great palace with spacious upper rooms. So he makes large windows in it, panels it with cedar, and decorates it in red. Does it make you a king to have more and more cedar? Did not your father have food and drink? He did what was right and just, so all went well with him. He defended the cause of the poor and needy, and so all went well. Is that not what it means to know me, declares the Lord?
Remember?
I know what you did. You set me up.
Who told you to pull out all the stops on Mr. Geddes? Who made that choice?
It's entrapment. You set me up.
And more yes. The direction you took. Popes, swamis, snake handlers, all feeding at the same trough. Whose ideas were those?
You played me. It was a test. Your test.
And Colin, knowing he was guilty, seeing those pictures, what did you do? You put that lying bitch on the stand.
You brought me in. You put me there. You made her lie.
I don't do that, Kevin. That day on the subway, what did I say to you? What were my words to you? Maybe it was your time to lose. You didn't think so. Lose? I don't lose! I win! I win! I'm a lawyer! That's my job! That's what I do! I rest my case. Vanity is definitely my favorite sin. Kevin, it's so basic. Self-love, the all-natural opiate. You know, it's not that you didn't care for Mary Ann, Kevin. It's just that you were a little bit more involved with someone else. Yourself.
You're right. I did it all.
Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them, "Every kingdom divided against itself will be ruined, and every city or household divided against itself will not stand. If Satan drives out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then can his kingdom stand? Or again, how can anyone enter a strong man's house and carry off his possessions unless he first ties up the strong man? Then he can plunder his house. Whoever is not with me is against me, and whoever does not gather with me scatters."